So, if you really think about it, the universe is infinite. That means there's infinite bodies. I don't think the universe is only 16 billion light years wide or whatever. I think it's infinite. And if that's the case, then there's infinite stars, in which case the light from those stars still isn't here yet. What I'm implying is that whenever it happens, not in our lifetime, but it might happen one day in which all the light in the sky is finally visible and there's no darkness anymore at night. It's just pure white in space. It's not black. Um, I think it's funny the Mayan sign of the jaguar, the spotted fur, not only represents that as the Mayan glyph, but the stars of the Milky Way galaxy. Like the three spots represent stars. Most likely Orion. But also, Jaguar rules Aquarius once again, and Aquarius rules Jaguar. And Aquarius, guess what? Is the sign of astrology. So I'm a Jaguar in the sign of astrology. And it's the age of Aquarius. It's really cool. Um, what I totally forgot to mention about Jesus and Quetzalcoatl is that Quetzalcoatl ruled his archetype ruled the eras from 40 to 434 CE, and this was in Kalman's Mayan calendar in the transformation of consciousness. So the time in which Jesus lived and was born, well, not was born, but lived and transformed the world, was in the era of Quetzalcoatl. This ties in perfectly with my theories and everyone else's, like Graham Hancock's. Um, but yeah. It's crazy how Friedrich Nietzsche, tried to be boyfriend and girlfriend with Lou Salome, and he's a Libra dragon and she's an Aquarius rooster. And John Lennon, of course, is a Libra dragon, and out of 288, Yoko Ono is also an Aquarius rooster. I think that's very weird. But anyway, it's just weird that Salome went on to marry Rilke, and then she studied with Freud a little bit. It's just like small worlds, very small worlds. Um, One last thing about Nietzsche, he had a lot of complaints about headaches a lot, and they say if you have a heavy Aries placement, it's all about the head. So his migraines perhaps has to do with his triple conjunction in Aries of Jupiter, Pluto, and Uranus. His whole will to power is the Aries archetype too. Just so much confidence and stuff. Um, but yeah, I think that had to do with his headaches as well. One more idea, I would say. People complain, well, he could have done so much if he laid off the drugs, he'd been so much more healthy. Yes and no. The extent to which drugs make you creative, I think, outweighs um, the lack of any experimentation of your life, in which case you probably wouldn't have been creative. In other words, I think the time spent on drugs beats the meaningless life you would have had without drugs assisting your creativity. Like, yeah, they overdosed and were stupid, but look at McKenna. He didn't overdose or anything. I mean, he did drugs, plants, real shamanic stuff. Everyone else who overdosed on stupid shit was alcohol, heroin, drugs. And you cannot equivalate those two things, okay? Powder and green, very different colors.